Welcome to the American Studies World War II project. This video will show you how to create your statistics screen. When you're done with your statistics screen, you will have a title, at least 4 statistics, as well as a home button. When you're done, it should look something like this. You've got a statistics title, at least 4 statistics, as well as your home button. So let's go ahead and get started. When you are beginning to build your page, you may have a screen that looks like this where it's totally blank, or you may have a screen where you've already started some things on that, like if you've got a main menu screen or a home page. Either way, to start a new screen, if you've got existing screens, go ahead and click this drop down and click New Screen, and then you will go ahead and have a blank screen. If you're starting with a blank screen, great. Here's what I need you to do. First and foremost, change the screen ID. And this one we want to call Statistics Screen. Make sure, as I've mentioned in previous videos, using camel case, which is the first word has a lowercase letter. The subsequent words have an uppercase letter for the first letter, and it's all put together. You can change the background color to any color you want, doesn't matter. And now we'll go ahead and begin to add the elements that I had mentioned, the title, the statistics, and the home button. So how do we add the title? We're going to drag over this element, which is just a label. When I drag over that element, the first thing that I want to do is change its ID. So we're going to call this by the page that it's on, statistics, and then title. And we're going to change this text to battle casualties of World War II. That's mine. Yours might be something different. When I hover over it, I can move it to wherever I want. I can change the font size to something a little bit bigger. I can adjust the font color if I'd like, the text color. The background, as you've seen before in previous videos, if I wanted to add a background to the text, it looks something like this. If I didn't like that background, I can just delete it right here. I could also change the alignment. I prefer to have it centered. And there we go. I've got my title. Now all I need to do is begin to add my statistics. I'm going to drag these label elements over to add my statistics. My statistics are going to have a specific ID. It's going to be statistics. Remember, we start with the page that we're on, and this is going to be stat1. Again, make sure that it's all together, camel case. Let's change my font size to something a little bit bigger. And I'll go ahead and copy and paste or type in my statistics. So I'll begin with number 1, and I'll just type that in. Okay, whatever my statistic is. I'll move it to wherever I want to. And now that I've got my first statistic, I can go ahead and add my subsequent statistics. If I click on this, notice that my workspace changes to this stat statistic. And if I wanted to, I can go ahead and duplicate this. I want at least 4 of them. Move that. I'll click on that one and duplicate that. And then I'll duplicate that one as well. All right, now all I need to do is go ahead and change the labels. Remember, my ID is statistics, stat, and then whatever the number is. So I'll go ahead and click on the next one, change that to statistics stat 2. I'll change the actual text of it. Click on the next statistic. This one is statistics stat 3. Change the actual text. Next, statistics stat 4. And lastly, change the text. Again, with each one of these statistics, once I'm done typing them, I can change the text color if I wanted to on each statistic. I can change the background color. I can change the font size and the alignment. Just a couple things that you need to know before we move on. If this is the first video that you're watching, notice that whenever I hover over the screen and if I click on the screen, the workspace changes to the screen, so I can go ahead and change the color of the screen if I wanted to. And if I hover over each statistic and click on them, I can see the workspace change for each statistic. But you can also do that by coming over to this drop-down menu here. So you can adjust each one of these statistics by just clicking on the specific choice in the drop-down menu. One more thing that I wanted to show you is that if you don't like the look of the typed statistics, you could actually import a table. So for example, if I had a table of statistics, I can just take a screenshot. With a Mac, it's Command-Shift-4, and I can just screenshot the table. And again, if you didn't want to have these typed in statistics, what you would want to add in is an image, and I can add in an image, and the first thing that I'm going to do is change that ID, and it's going to be statistics table. Okay, now all I need to do is change the image. Notice that it disappeared because no image was selected. I can go ahead and change the label. If you haven't worked in this asset section is where you can upload files or you could use existing icons. We obviously want to upload a file, so I'm going to find the table that I just screenshotted. I'll choose it. And notice that it's a little bit small. I can change this fit image to fill, and it's a little bit bigger. If you are going to import a table, just know that it may be a little bit difficult to read, but if you like that better, great, use that. Last but not least, we've got to add a home button, right? So what I'm going to add is a design element, which is a button. I'll put it wherever I want. My ID is going to be statistics home button. I'll change the text to home or start. If you change it to start, it doesn't matter as long as you've got this statistics home button. Again, you can change the background color of the button, you can change the text color or the alignment. Okay. The last thing that I want to do is go ahead and add in the code for this. Everything that I've done is now in design mode. I want to add some code for my statistics button. Okay. What I'm going to add is by clicking on the home button, and I'll go to the events tab, and I want to add an on-click event. So when this button is clicked, I want something to happen. So I'll go ahead and add in code. Now yours may have some existing code, yours may not. Doesn't matter. What you're going to see is something that looks like this. When the statistics home button is clicked, right now there's some pre-existing code console.log. You can just leave that. I want to change and add a set screen from my UI controls menu, and I want to change this to main menu screen. Make sure that it's capitalized with an M and the S camel case. Once you've got this, if you click back into design mode, you're all set. You're already done with the statistics page.